Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're going to challenge you guys at home to create a series of design ideas using the isometric projection. In this episode you're going to need a sheet of A4 plain paper, a HB pencil, possibly a rubber, and most definitely a ruler. Let's get started. Okay, so our little challenge today is to create and design a new pencil pot desktop tidy. Now, as you can see from my images here, I've got a few reference materials, something that's inspired me, and I quite like the look of a few of these little compartments that are in here, and I quite like the fact that we've got this elephant style there, and it can hold my phone as well. I quite like the idea of holding my phone, so that's something I might consider. And I'm also a big fan of drawers, so there's something I'm going to include in mine. Your specification for this is it must hold at least 3 pencils or pens. It's got to have a space for post-it notes, and it needs to have one additional feature. And that feature might be it holds a phone, it might be hold post-it notes, it might have a drawer, it might have wheels. It's up to you. Okay, so we're going to draw isometrically and we're going to be sketching for most of this. So first of all, I'm going to start off with my first line, and we're going to create that angle. If you can remember back from a previous video we've looked at an isometric drawing, it's 30 degrees, and we just need to remember that when we sketch, we sketch these parallel. So these lines are going to be moving parallel like that. We do the same thing on the opposite side. And then I can just bring these lines down vertically like that. Now, let's zoom in a little bit so you guys at home can see this a little clearer. And I'll just sketch these lines out like this. And you guys can use a ruler for this part. You can see that I'm extending my lines when I'm drawing. Now, as a construction line, these are quite useful really, because they help just get the lines in the right proportion. And also, once I'm happy with the idea, I can go around and darken off the areas that I'm quite happy with. Okay, let's see if we can open this up. Let's have space down there like that. Lovely. And then I can have the pencils coming out like this. There we go, a little pencil pot like that. Quite simple to begin with. Let's see if we can add something over here. Again, remember I'm using those construction lines first of all. Maybe here there's a little drawer for my post-it notes. A little handle to pull it out. There's idea number 1. Now, try and be a little bit more imaginative with your next idea. So, let's come in here like this. Let's have something like that instead. Now, with isometric drawing, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. You've just got to remember to follow that rule of following those lines in parallel. As long as they're kicking off at 30 degrees, you're always going to end up creating something in isometric. I quite like the way that steps up actually, that's quite nice. I'll keep that in. Let's make a feature of that. Little steps at the back. A little space at the front here for my pencils to go in. And I can just show that with a couple of lines like so. Okay, that's quite nice. Quite like that. Let's go on to something a little bit different now. So with each idea you want to be trying to create something different. If we end up with 3 quite tall boxes that all look the same, it's going to look quite boring, and you end up creating something called design fixation. Design fixation is when you have the same thing repeated over and over and over again. Let's split that into two. Let's just have that as an open channel. But this one can be my little drawer. No, I don't want it as a channel. I want it to be a little drawer. So there we go. Maybe even put a little bit of shadow on there just to show that that's going through. Then on the back of this, I can have a little. Let's go all the way across. Try and be careful not to touch the other design idea. I'm not quite sure why I've done this now, but we're sticking with it because we're going for it now. So let's just keep drawing in the isometric view. Let's have that going through as well. So we've got a little hole there as well. Now sometimes a design might not go the way you want it, or it might be that the drawing doesn't quite look how you want it to look, and that's okay. These are sketches, they're preliminary sketches, they're designed to be idea generation, not finished products. So it might be that on this one we have the pencils all laid up like this, so I can just grab them. So I can just pick them out. Maybe there's some kind of way I can capture them somehow. So there's like little holes or something, maybe. Maybe that could bring me on to my next idea. But the idea for this is for you guys to have a brief, for you guys to be designing something, and for you to practice the isometric drawing style. That's Chewbacca in the background, you can probably hear, barking away. Postman's probably on his way. So maybe there's a space for each one of those pens or pencils to go through there. Let's have a little piece up here like that. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here with this bit, but I'm going to go with it anyway. And sometimes that's the beauty of doing a design like this. You're not quite sure where your design is going to end up, but just explore that idea anyway. Looks like there's some kind of compartment. Maybe it opens up and closes like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a space for my post-it notes to go. There you go. Now there was a painter many years ago now called Bob Ross who used to talk about happy accidents when drawing, or in his case painting. And it can be the same for sketching as well. Sometimes you just stumble across an idea that by mistake, and that's just through sketching ideas. Pencils again would rest in there like that. Probably not quite that far out, but just to show that's where the pencil would go when you grab it. And the post-it notes go in the front. Maybe there's a space here for a ruler. Maybe that slots in the back down there. I don't know. Who knows? Right, next idea. Remember, you're just practicing your design skills here, your isometric drawing skills. Doesn't matter if these ideas aren't perfect. Yeah, let's go down all the way down there. So maybe there's a space here for post-it notes, or a rubber or something. And then maybe the pencils all line up in the back here. Maybe there's something at the bottom there just to catch them so that they don't put like a pen or something there. And these could all be made out of timber. Maybe we'll make it like a wood version of each one. Then on top we've got space for maybe extra accessories. I wonder if there's a way we could possibly have a section here, maybe. Let's go that way. Let's go like that, quite quick. And let's have that ruler being stashed in a little slot, purpose built just for the ruler. Let's just shade that in so we can see that a bit clearer. And that just sits into this little slot here like that. Occasionally you might need to use the rubber to rub out a key section, so it makes more sense design wise. So okay, that's all one piece. Maybe there's other things you can slot in there as well. I don't know, maybe some scissors or something. I don't know. But I'll just put a couple of rulers in there for now. Let's have a look at trying to create this one over here. So again, as long as you're moving parallel, you're going to end up creating those ideas in isometric drawing. You can see how fast I'm moving. Now this is typical of somebody who's practiced and is well versed in drawing an isometric, but it's only because I've practiced that I can go this speed. You might take a little bit longer to do yours, that's fine, you've got time. Little drawing area here, this is quite nice, I quite like the idea of that little drawing area. Let's give that a bit of shade. Okay, and then they had this divided into sections, so you could take that little idea there of dividing parts up. Right, and then there'll be a little one that you just see the corner of there, and you just slightly see it. And again, there'd be things like rulers sticking out of that, wouldn't there? So let's put a little ruler in there. What do they have at the top? They had all kinds of things. They had a little space at the top there, didn't they? Have little drawer handles like that, and then a space at the top for post-it notes or something like that. Nice little packet of post-it notes on top. So there we go. There's a range of different design ideas. Now of course we can add shadow to those, or we can number them, but we've created a set of isometric drawings quite quickly, and we've created a variety of different ideas, which is the important part. So let's head back to home. What have we learned in today's session? We've learned about the isometric projection, how to use parallel lines to create those isometric cuboids that can help generate design ideas. We've learnt about using construction lines and having those flicks that go past the actual line to help construct that three-dimensional shape. At this stage in our design process, our initial sketches, we've got three-dimensional form and shape that we can then add texture, rendering or shadow. So, to see how to add rendering, you can select on one of the videos and the icons here, or you can click on my beautiful mug over my shoulder so you don't miss another video. So don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.